Thank you, Judge. Unfortunately, I get her circumstances, but the defendant has made no attempt to pay. She hasn't made any good faith payments. She hasn't sent $5. She hasn't said anything. And while I understand life circumstances, I definitely get deaths in the family and managing things. It's just she doesn't present a valid reason to adjourn this any further than it already has gone. I mean, it's been a year and she hasn't made any payments. So
yeah, my taxes had got garnished, and I was trying to use my taxes for that. So my taxes had got taken away.
I didn't interrupt you. Please don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
So, Judge, I'd be willing to set up something, but I mean, again, it's been a year and she made no attempt to make any payments whatsoever. So I would ask that the motion be granted today, and in 91 days, if she wants to file another motion for installment payment orders, we can review it then. But unfortunately, under the circumstances, there's just not a valid reason to continue this.
Ma'am, you were on notice since May 14th, I think it was. Was that the first time that she became on notice that she was going to have a hearing today on the motion to set aside? I think the notice was mailed on that day.
I believe so, Judge. And I can check that. Because we do also send default letters, and she was on notice from the beginning because she did contact our office about not making payments. And again, we tried to work with her in extending the payment dates under her circumstances, but she just never made a payment.
Under the circumstances, as I hear them at this point in time, Ms. Campbell did reach this agreement, in fact, in front of me over a year ago. Sounds like she has not made a single payment, no attempt whatsoever to make a payment. I understand that the circumstances are not ideal for you to make the payment that you agreed to, but you didn't try to make any single payment at all. That's a problem for me, ma'am. You need to at least show the court that you have good faith in this, and I'm not seeing that at this time. I also have a letter here from Ms. Campbell that she filed prior to the motion even going out, asking to see me. So she knew that she was having a hearing, but it sounds like she has not sought to acquire an attorney prior to today's date. I'm going to grant your motion to set aside the installment payment at this point in time. And like counsel has indicated, if after 91 days, ma'am, you can then petition the court for a different installment payment where you can try to show this court that you do have intentions of following through on what you've agreed to.
Okay, I understand nothing you said. So what's going to happen at this point? What's about to happen right now?
I'm granting their motion.
And then what happens next? You said I have 90 days to do what?
I said after 91 days, you can file a motion to ask that a new one be set into place. But for now, their motion to set aside the installment payment is granted, which means they can garnish your wages.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. LV Envy Funding versus Michelle Miller, case number and Braids by Miata LLC 23C0728.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Kuipers on behalf of the attorney in record and LV Envy Funding.
Good afternoon. Is anyone representing Michelle Miller or Braids by Miata LLC present? If so, please unmute and state your name.
No, I'm representing myself.
What is your name, please?
My name is Michelle Miller.
All right, so you are Miss Michelle Miller.
Yes.
Thank you. So in this particular case, there was a motion and affidavit filed for a show cause.
Yes, I would like to speak on that, Your Honor. I have sent them a payment of $500 and they get $15 a week out of my bank account. So I'm trying to figure out why we are here. They have not put credit towards the $500 cashier's check that I sent them, or they have not gave me credit for the $15 a week that I'm not sure if it was you or someone else had granted them to garnish my bank account, and they have been receiving that money every week. I had also called their attorney, Joshua or Jason or something like that. And this was last year. And when I first had got the first paperwork, because I'm the one that initiated for Synchrony Bank, because this is regarding Synchrony Bank. I have 7 other accounts with Synchrony Bank.
Ma'am. So first
Excuse
of all,
me?
please stop talking for a moment. It's not your motion. Mr. Cooper, this is your motion, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. This was plaintiff's motion in order to show cause. It all stems from request for a judgment against the garnishee defendant. And give you a brief synopsis quick if the court would like.
Well, I have to move out my building anyway, so since they keep delivering mail there.
Ma'am, please stop talking. It's not your turn yet. Mr. Cooper, this is not asked to the defendant Miller. You have not brought her in today. You have filed a motion to show cause for a Braids by Miata LLC.
That's correct, Your Honor. There was a garnishment issued on September 29, 2023 against Braids by Miata LLC. It was sent to them on October 10th. There was no disclosure received, so the plaintiff then filed a notice of failure to file a disclosure and sent that to Braids by Miata LLC back on January 10th of 2024. Default request was then sent and issued by this court on March 14th of 2024 for failure to disclose, and then a default judgment was then filed on April 3, 2024. At this point, that's what plaintiff is seeking to have entered against Braids by Miata LLC.
Who is Braids by Miata LLC?
That is me by myself, me all alone. And every time I try to call and speak with them, they are very rude. I've sent them money. I've tried to, get this situated. Yesterday, on just last week alone, they sent me a notice every single day. Prior to that, they sent 4. At this point, I'm not going to have nowhere to work from because my landlord that I rent from asked me if they keep coming, I have to leave the premises. So how am I supposed to pay? That $500 I sent them, I saved up because I had got a call from DFAX in Atlanta. Now, this is a show cause hearing. Let me show cause. Their calls are also recorded and monitored. I got a call from DFAX in Atlanta to go get my grandchildren on August the 28th. They gave me 24 hours. What was I going to do? Pay them or leave my grandchildren to go into the state? That's what I did. I went and got my grandbabies. I sent them $500. I've been paying them $15 a week. They get that directly out of my bank account. So I don't understand why we're here because I'm doing what they're asking me to do. But I also am a one-person band doing hair. I don't have a company. I don't have 30, 40 people working for me. It's just me and me alone.
All right, ma'am, you've talked, so let me say a few things, okay? First of all, you have a company. It's called Braids by Miata LLC. LLC is that, limited liability company. So when you have a company, you can't come to court and represent the company. You actually have to have an attorney do that. So when you incorporate or turn yourself into an LLC, then you're no longer able to come into a court and represent that particular agency. So,
well, when I just went up to 14th District Court over there on Whitaker and here on River Drive, they told me that I could come to court and represent myself.
They would not have told you that because they don't give.
Yes, they did. I was on the phone with legal aid when they told me that. I was calling to get a legal aid representative, and the legal aid attorney was on the phone when I was standing right at the desk when the attorney told me, when the young lady told me that. It was a young man and a young lady. They were right at the 14th District Court, and it was another security guard that used to be a bailiff standing out front. I spoke with him for a moment as well.
Well, you can't represent yourself. You can't represent this company.
So either I'm going to pay them or get a lawyer, but I can't do both.
Well, I can't help you with that part of that. I can only tell you what the law is. Okay.
Well, I would rather to pay them because I can't afford to pay an attorney.
So they're here today trying to
to
get a
show cause.
Can you not talk over me again, ma'am? It's really starting to irritate me. Do you understand? Because this is my last time giving you a warning to not talk over me. The next thing will be a contempt. Are we clear? Do you hear me talking to you, ma'am?
I hear you. I'm not deaf, ma'am.
Well, you didn't respond, so I wasn't sure.
Because my phone fell. I was trying to pick my phone up.
Please don't talk over me again, okay? If you're not going to respond, I can just remove you from
Well,
this.
you told me not to say anything. So what?
All right, you want to play games? Get her out the room.
Like, geez.
All right, so you're asking for a judgment against Braids by Miata LLC?
That's correct, Your Honor. Based on the failure to file a disclosure after multiple attempts to have that done.
Given that no one here is present who can represent Miata LLC, I will grant your request.
Thank you, Your Honor. Did the court need plan to send in a judgment, or has one already been sent in?
A judgment has already been sent in.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.